track, you're being out of commissioner. This is going to be a real short trip. Okay, hit it.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. How's it going? Well, it's not morning for two of us, but it's morning. I'm exhausted, but how you guys doing?
Yeah, good. You?
Great. Yeah, finally
guys-
rested a bit after the weekend.
You all recuperated now?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm still really sleepy.
I was just saying that, Chris. I know it's been 2 days in. I'm exhausted, man. My head's pounding and I'm tired. And I slept good coming home, but
It's probably been about 20 years since I stayed up till 3, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But
Met anyone that can stay up to 3 or 5 o'clock in the morning that doesn't drink?
yeah, we don't drink at all. I have a little bit here and there, but we didn't drink at all, Jason and I. Or Marvin. What's that?
You had some champagne.
I had some champagne and a couple Long Island iced teas one night, which was a crazy fun night. Well, I mean, listen, we're back from celebration, and I'm sure a lot of people, we're gonna have a a recap for group therapy on all the con stuff and RS stuff, and so I thought, let's just do a show where, the four of us and Parminder hung out the whole entire week. I mean, we were together from breakfast. You guys all came over to our hotel for breakfast, which was free breakfast thanks to Jason very much. We were all taking advantage of you, Jason. And till they kicked us out of the hotel lobby at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
What's surprising though is everybody was tired and ready for bed, but I still was ready to stay up. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. Something was wrong. I don't know, but
You were going
I
to
don't know
bed
how.
and getting up for breakfast at like 8 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, Jason and I, we stayed up till almost 5:30 the one night, and just sitting talking.
The night we had to leave.
Yeah, they certain nights they kicked us out. Certain nights they just kind of let us go, depending on how loud John got. So,
Yeah, this is true.
but no, I got to tell you guys, like, I feel bad when I told this to my wife because and your kids, but I literally, seriously, in all honesty, had the best time of my life in my entire 48 years, 49, 48, something like that. This week with you two guys, with 3 guys and Parminder.
You told your wife that.
Well, I kind of downplayed it a tiny bit because, so, John, I'm going to mute you for a second. I think you're, nope, that's not the
He
mute.
sounds like EV99, doesn't he?
Yeah, something sounds a little off and funny. I'm just going to try to figure out who it is. Maybe it's me. No, it's Marvin. It's Marvin. I muted Marvin. Something he's doing is throwing it off. It sounds like it's.
It
sounds like it's
Beard brusher gets his microphone.
No, you know what it is? It sounds like it's my voice talking in the background a little bit.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvin, when you talk as well, it's a bit funny.
Is this better?
Yeah,
It's like you're
better.
driving, but it's better, yeah.
That's better. I just turned down the volume a little bit, got rid of some of that static.
Yeah.
But so we got a lot to talk about here, guys. We have a special,
do.
ship that we never saw before that we have all been going crazy. We have John Con to talk about. We have our weird random garage sale kind of get together sitting on parking lot floor, and all the gum and cigarette butts and spit, So
yeah, that was a strange one, but brilliant.
That was awesome. That was honestly like those couple things will stick out in my brain for the rest of my life. My, what I've got left since I'm so old.
The smile on face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just, I said what I thought about the whole weekend. Let me know what you guys thought.
Well, I mean, I've done a little video actually, and I've put it. I'm uploading it now, and it's I've left out all the video footage of us dancing at the concert.
You didn't put this in?
No, I've not put that in. No. But I just keep getting flashbacks and stuff that happened. It was just brilliant. But I just think I wish someone was filming us running over to the prop store cabinet. How excited we all were! Literally, we're like little kids running about. You can see in some of the pictures, like I'm in the corner with my camera. You can see all like diagonally taking pictures of each other, like taking pictures of the Star Destroyer.
I was taking notice to the people behind us. We were literally covering that whole
we were
cabinet.
like blocking the cabinet.
Well,
people were doing one of these.
I could see people's faces behind us. They're like, oh, "Come on, will you get the fuck? Get the hell
Chris,
out of
me
the
and
way."
you were covering the cabinet. These two, not so much. Marvin was just like, "I'll look over you."
Yeah, he was up here, and
I'll look over you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, to people watching, if there are any, it was a small maquette of the Super Star Destroyer in Empire Strikes Back, and the beauty of it, or the most exciting thing about it, was that we had never seen it before, and I don't know where that's been hiding in someone's collection, and unfortunately, they do sort of reappear and resurface when people connected to the films have passed away, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Their collection, becomes part of an auction or whatever. But this particular model was, what's it, 30, 35, 30, 40 centimeters long.
Yeah, even that.
Yeah, and it's just which is new to us, and us being hardened modelers, so we think we've seen everything, and it usually takes a prop store to pop up with some new models, doesn't it? The welding droids, the small Y-wings, the NPC X-wings. Now there's just tons and tons of stuff. There could be more models that we don't know about. So that was exciting for me. That was one of the things that I remember the most about it.
That's right, John. That's exactly it. It just goes to show that there's so many other things out there that we just don't know and are not aware of that could potentially be unearthed. I feel, there's two contributing factors, right? The popularity of Star Wars. So guys that worked on it are like, hey, I have this one piece that I kind of worked with in the studio just as a mock-up or a study, or like you said, a maquette. And hey, it might be worth a little money. I'm older now. Let me make some, let me put this into auction and get a little money for my family. Or, we are at a time where 40, 50 years have now passed, and unfortunately people are passing on, and loved ones are going through storage units, attics, basements, etc., and they are finding pieces. But I do have a feeling that even 10, 20 years from now, we'll still continue to start seeing more and more small little bits and pieces, randomly come out over time. And it's exciting because this is one of those pieces where it wasn't like we were familiar with it, or we've seen it in images and we knew exactly what it was, but we just didn't know where it existed or where it was hiding. Nobody was really familiar with this until we saw it this weekend.
Yeah, we were sitting up watching the Boba Fett panel, and another person, John Stewart, JT, another guy that I've talked to for about 12 years, but I've never met in person. I didn't even know what he looked like until the celebration. He was sitting behind us, and he tapped me on the shoulder, and I looked round, and I could tell it was a prop store case, and I was like, "What is that?" And then as soon as it ended, we ran downstairs, and we couldn't get to that case fast enough to have a look at this Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm. How was your weekend, Marvin? What did you think of the whole weekend?
Yeah, it was nice. We've talked about this a lot, and I think if you read anything online, people talking about it as well. Everybody always says it's all about the people, and for me that was really, really true. This was really nice prop store, and seeing that one new model, that was one of the, or maybe the highlight of the actual event, other than meeting people. It was my first celebration. I've only done Comic Cons and really really small Star Wars cons here in the Netherlands or in Europe. I did expect more buzz around the event. It just felt like I don't even know exactly what all happened at the event, what was there to do, and
Yeah.
of what I know that there was there to do, I know I missed about 99% of it because of organization, because of not understanding how stuff works. Yeah, and I think we also talked about it being like this Return of the Jedi anniversary, and I would have expected more from that on theme. They had plenty of hallways. They could have easily sectioned off half a hallway and done an exhibit. Get some of the models that were on tour that are specifically Jedi. Get the life-size speeder bike there. There's plenty of things to do and to put up. Yeah, and maybe a little bit more of the making of. I mean, they tried somewhat in a Jedi panel, but it just kind of missed the mark.
That was a lot
It
of,
did, yeah.
even though it was a Jedi panel, it still was mostly talking about special effects from Book of Boba, and it was more new stuff than old stuff until the actors came out talking. It was a lot of modern stuff.
Yeah.
I missed. I don't know anything that really happened with the con. Somebody messaged me, "Hey, did you see what was your favorite reveal at the con? Did you see the Gentle Giant 1/2 Gamorrean guard?" I'm like, I didn't even look at that stuff whatsoever. Just it went right by me. I didn't care, So
it was full of things, but it was just you're plowing like herded like cattle through everywhere, and you could relax and stand and just take. It took Prop Store to bring their own items to have anything from the original trilogy there.
Yeah.
And
even the cosplay was. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry, you were talking first. Go ahead.
Do you think it's something to do with having props from the original films now under lock and key at the archives? How does that work with now a Disney organization trying to get them from Lucasfilm to be put on display to the public in London?
I honestly feel like it's just a push to promote their new stuff, to sell the new stuff rather than keep trying to sell the old stuff.
Yeah.
So
what I was also thinking is like, I don't know. I would assume everybody that's at Celebration is like a die-hard Star Wars fan, right? And a lot of the stuff that's presented or is also in these panels, like the little bit of a look behind the scene, that was all so superficial that any fan that's kind of a hardcore Star Wars fan would already know all of this stuff. Like I would have, if you've ever opened a book about these movies and the making of these movies, you already would have known all this stuff.
Yeah,
I really would have expected them in these panels to go just one level deeper, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, they showed you the speeder bike storyboard, didn't they? The cinema.
Yeah.
That was nice. That
was nice. Yeah. I've seen snippets of it online, just snippets, but this was like the full scene.
Yeah.
That was nice. Yeah.
But even like I was saying, even the cosplay, I enjoy going to see different, costumes at these things. But even that was so hit and miss. It was mostly just, you take like a Mandalorian and make him pink or put like fuzzy stuff on him. It was just, it was random, odd cosplay. It wasn't like people dressed up as stormtroopers or Darth Vader. There was more male Princess Leia's than female Princess Slave Leia's than there were female Slave Leia's. I only saw one chick dressed as Slave Leia, and I saw like 10 dudes dressed like Slave Leia.
There was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot of guys dressed as Slave Leia. We did see the one Proto Boba, which was pretty spot on. Cool. So if you're out there in the community, feel free to send us a message because hats off, man. That was really accurate and really detailed.
Well, while we're talking about this new model that we just happened to never see before, let's put it up. That's not right. That's not what's on my screen. Okay, StreamYard, let's work a little bit here. Wait, let me fix this. Go ahead. Oh, let's try that again. Window. Bring it up.
You look at Chris's background. That's Snowtrooper. You know, that's the kind of accuracy I wanted to see walking around. People like that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that snowtrooper was he tried to break up the fight between Luke and Vader and got his hands chopped off.
Smart ass. I have to do those hands in the gun. Yeah, I have not. So, but yeah, here's the starter destroyer, the maquette we're talking about.
This is it. This is
Yeah.
why I was up at 5 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. So Marvin, tell us a little bit about this beauty.
Yeah, what is there to tell? It's a really quaint little model. I think it's because I have it here. It's closer to like 25 centimeters in length. There's very little info, or there was very little info on it on the plaque near the display. I think it's going to be in the May prop store auction coming May. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more information if there is any. I've been looking at it as well, and it could have been a little maquette that they used to plan out shots. But if I have it here in front of me, the overall dimensions are pretty close to the final version. So I'm also thinking that maybe they just quickly slapped it together to translate from like the concept drawings to 3D, just to get a feel of the overall dimensions, how it feels, if it looks grand enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can see, it's just a very simple styrene model with painter's tape, masking tape panels, and just a handful of kit parts on it.
Those infamous wheels at the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Still looking for those wheels in the back with the six holes around the center.
Very uneven holes and the uneven circles. Yeah.
You know what's funny, guys, is you and all the four of us were like gawking at this thing and taking 100 pictures of it. But I guarantee you 95% of the public there didn't even remotely notice it. They probably noticed.
They were looking at the lightsabers in the back.
The lightsabers,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The lightsabers and the big asteroid in the back. They could care less about this thing. But the four of us were like, oh my God.
But I mean,
well, we even went as far as like, so we batched all our images together, right? And then we realized, like, okay, this is the images that we now need. And we went back the next day and said, okay, we need to get it, as Marvin mentioned, we need to try to get from this angle, and this angle, and it'll give us a better idea. So we even went back and revisited and discussed it further with Steph, and you know, kind of went in and tried to get the images that we needed. But yeah, I think it was a good effort. I think you know, we've accomplished a lot on this, more than others, but.
I thought when you asked, we lost John's video. There he is. When you asked him if he could take that thing out just to get a good look at it, I thought his face just dropped. And he's like, "Oh, I can't do that. There's insurance reasons and blah blah blah." So it made sense, but I
think if the time was right, like towards the end of the con, it could have been something that may have been doable, but
what were you gonna say, John? You were saying something then?
Yeah, I spoke to him today, and he said it's actually now flying back over to LA, and next month we might get some better pictures of it. They're going to start photography of it next month with their beautiful. I love photography. So
estimate is 10 to 20,000. I mean, we got four of us here. If we each pull together $5,000, we could send it back and forth to each other every 3 months.
I'll have it on weekends.
Yeah, we'll share custody. But yeah, like even this tape just lifting is just something, you know, Jason said he was going to do. It's a beautiful little thing. I mean, it's so basic and, you know, hardly anything to it, but it's cool, you know.
Well, the tape, if you look, serves a double purpose. So the tape serves as just a little bit of detail with some graphite traced around it. But if you look on the opposite ends, on the inner side, the tape is what's help holding the two, sheets coming in like this together a little bit.
Mm.
Probably in addition to some glue, but yeah, sort of like a little bit of reinforcement.
So Marvin, you've I don't know if you can show us, but you've done a mock-up, haven't you?
Yep.
Already.
Yep.
And I was going to say about the internal structure, but it's holding together pretty well. Brilliant.
So that just got the tape on and just ready for kit application.
Nice.
Yeah. Just made a quick internal structure so we could lock in the angles correctly, and it serves also as a mounting block. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you had most of that. You had it mostly mapped and ID'd that night in the hotel as soon as we went back.
Yeah, but it was all of like two kits.
Yeah.
Basically, I think they took out in total. We are now, I think, at 4 kits in total, and a couple of beads, and that's it. So this wasn't the hardest thing to ever ID.
Are there any expensive ones?
No, not really.
No.
No. Okay, because they're newer too. They're Jedi, so it's not necessarily that they'd be hard.
But it's all the parts that are also used in like earlier movies. So far, there's nothing special. But of course, we're still missing a few parts, and of course, we got these right in the middle right now. These brown spots where you can still see the original color of the tape. So there's some parts missing. So of course, there is a chance that we'll find missing parts of a more expensive kit. But so far, it's all pretty basic.
Okay. And like, do we still think these are like pencil marks around the outside here, or are they? Yeah. And on the bottom?
Yep. On the bottom, I think they also drew on the tape itself, like extra panel lines.
I know I have. There we go.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Yeah, extra panel lines there. Yeah. It really is a dirty thing, isn't it? but so interesting.
Dirty, basic, and very. If it's on a table with a whole bunch of other pieces, it's very probably overlooked a lot too. So
yeah.
But it's new, and it's something for us to dig our teeth into and look at and get reinvigorated with building and IDing again. That's the beauty of this thing. So
there's a QR code on the plaque. Has anyone tried that?
There's a what?
A QR code on the plaque.
I didn't even think of that. That's probably just taking you to a prop store website. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that was definitely a highlight of the show. Let's do. What do you say with John Con? Let's talk John Con.
Well, that was amazing. I've actually got again some videos, and all you can hear in the background is everyone just excitedly talking to each other. Like,
you have video of this?
Yeah, so I'm putting it up on. I'm uploading it now as we speak. So.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it's only like a few minutes, but it just shows everyone, just mingling in that lovely. It's almost like a pub background sort of sound. Everyone just chatting models, just having a beer and talking about what we love.
So this all came about because John had put in for a table at Celebration, right? Which you would have fit in perfectly with the Funko Pops and stuff, so
it was for everyone as well. Marvin and Guy and Lee and anyone that wanted to join. I wasn't, we were just going to call it like a standard sort of name. I think we were going under the FX Model Miniatures name, and they were just so slow to get back to me. And then when they did get back, it was for an exhibitor's table. They were trying to sell me. And I was like, it shows what a shit show it was. And it was the telltale signs were starting like last October when I applied.
Yeah.
I was panicking, thinking, if this is what the show is going to be like, they can't even answer emails and stuff. And then
you were panicking like almost every day. You're like, I still haven't heard anything. Nothing's come out. Like, almost day you were telling me that you hadn't gotten any.
It was just like I just wanted to just back and forth with them, or even an email saying no, but then they were like, "Oh, we'll know more next week. We'll know more next week." we should hear. And it was in the worst garbled English, wasn't it? That it was some of the, you couldn't read it.
Yeah.
It was absolutely spoiling the whole organisation of everything to do with it. And they reckon that I think the droid builders had some sort of inside information because they always get a table, an exhibition, and rightly so, at the celebrations. And they were saying like there was over like 200 applicants for fan booths and only 20 spaces to fill them, which we now know is rubbish because half the halls were empty, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. There was a lot of empty spaces too. Like in the background, they kind of filled it in with like candy and stuff, But like I kept saying to you, John, I was like, listen, you don't want to do this because you're going to be tied to this table the entire weekend. You're not going to be able to explore or go to the bathroom even probably because there's people standing around your very delicate models, So and it's like, let's just do our own.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. And it turned out so much fun. Oh
yeah, it was amazing. We decided to do it in our hotel in a conference room. We rented out a conference room. It was, and we told a few people to come, not a whole lot because we didn't want it to be too crowded in there, and it was like the perfect size and the perfect amount of people. And at first, I was thinking to myself, all right, well, some people said they might come and then they weren't able to, and I thought, all right, well, it's going to be the four of us again, at the five of us. But turned out even way better than I expected. It was a whole bunch of people came. Lee Stringer, Andy Preston, right?
It was amazing.
JT, no, it was JT. JT wasn't there.
John was disappointed he couldn't come because he wasn't there on the Saturday. But
Michael Janes is his name? Michael Janes.
Yeah.
And I cannot pronounce. I don't remember the guy's name who came with Lee Stringer. Cyan, okay.
Cyan.
And the guy that's next to Marvin, I don't remember his name. He came with some
Neil.
Yeah.
Neil. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I'm terrible with memory, first of all, and names it's absolutely impossible for me to remember.
Yeah.
But this turned out really great. I mean, it was just all of us just sitting around looking at John's models and Andy brought this beautiful
That was my highlight of the show. I absolutely loved that Macquarie snowspeeder.
Yeah, that was. I'd seen it online and didn't really appreciate it that much. I mean, I thought it was cool, but when I saw it in person, I'm like, oh, nice, And he scaled it so that it could fit some 6-inch Black Series figures into it, which is a cool touch. But like I said, it turned out pretty awesome. And anybody's thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, seeing Andy. I mean, I've chatted to Lee Stringer, I've chatted to Andy, I've chatted to all these people that you don't get to meet in person, and it takes something of this organisation and to meet up with people, and that's what it is for me. It's the meeting of the people. It's talking, with like-minded folk about what your interests are.
Yeah, this guy Michael Janes, he's in our Sandcrawler group, and I don't think he left the Sandcrawler. I think he was just sitting there staring at that the whole day. he got his measuring tape out and everything, but he needs to not. I mean, don't go by John's measurements, that's for sure.
This is worth noting that a lot of my models were there, but Chris did bring his bomb with him.
Bomb.
Yeah, but that's Marvin's crawler and Marvin's Star Destroyer, but I've just put the parts on.
Right. Yeah. Oh, speaking of bomb,
Marvin's models were there in essence.
Speaking of bomb, they had me take my silo out of the suitcase on the way back.
Oh, really?
At customs, yeah. Hold on a second. I gotta check to make sure my stepson's okay.
Chris did panic me a bit about that on the way out. He said it couldn't look more like a bomb.
Yeah, I think he had a problem coming in as well, so it was nice. Yeah.
All it needed to do was tick, and I think he'd have missed the celebration.
Yeah. Now, it was really nice, like we said earlier, it's all about the people. And there were just actually people here, like Michael James, who actually has one of my Stars Soundcrawler sets.
Yeah.
And it even when we introduced ourselves to each other, I mean, even then it took me just like a minute to click from, oh, right, you're that Michael James. You know, it's people you've been talking to that are in your group,
Yeah.
but it's just a name online. So it's real fun that, following a session like this, some of the names are actually faces now. And it's just, I think, John, that's also why we talk more easily than maybe my connection with other people, is because, of course, we met like, it was already 6 years ago, I think, but
Yeah.
Even that was enough, just to have a face with that name that you're talking to.
Yeah. I mean, you can make friends really easily online and you chat to them like all the time, but there's no connection like meeting someone in
No.
person.
No, it is definitely a deeper appreciation of people when you actually meet them in person after going forward.
Yeah.
Like I met Marvin once prior to this weekend, right? And now I feel like I know you like
Best
like I
friends
do
forever, BFF. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we'll all be BFFs. But
It's quite the motley crew.
Yeah.
Oh well, this
Oh,
is
here we go. That was the second thing we did, wasn't it?
yeah. We'll talk about that then. I'll get into. I got a whole folder full of pictures from that too. So
Felix couldn't meet us at the convent at the other hotel. So
you were just about to say John Con, but go ahead. Yeah.
so he met us at the car park underneath the XL.
yeah, that was
it was
amazing
strange
too.
thing.
I mean, he had fold-out chairs and everything.
Yeah.
Well, we had chairs, didn't we, Justin? But the rest had to sit on cardboard.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what's nice here. Okay, so I'm building the Sandcrawler as well, but looking at pictures online doesn't give you the same. Like there were some parts on it that I was a little confused about, but then once I saw yours in person, it was like, oh, okay, that's an angle. Oh, okay, that's a I-beam on the back there. Like that's the edges are what are throwing me off mostly.
Yeah.
But it also helps you, seeing these things also helps you, think about, how you can make your models better.
Yeah, see, I had the same thing. Marvin brought his, was it Manchester, Marvin? He brought, no, it was before that. It was
Birmingham. Yeah.
So
We have to talk about this picture, by the way. Hold on, I'm going to bring it up. Why can't I stop screen? Why does it do this? For some reason, it's doing something weird. We need to talk about. Oh, Jason's not there. Jason, are you there? Get your ass back here. This.
That looks like an old ILM photo.
Jason,
Yeah.
get your butt back here.
What's up? Oh, this picture is gonna go down. We're gonna print these on the T-shirts of the next John Con. So I just gotta plug my computer in.
Yeah. So I'm not around for this picture, by the way.
So I'll give you a quick breakdown.
Yeah,
We're in the room, setting up for the Friday night podcast, right? Was it? No, it was before then.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was Friday.
It was Friday.
So Steve comes up and says, "Oh, that's a pretty cool model. Who built it?" I said, "Chris." I said, "Take a look, man." I said, "It's great work." I said, "Get a better, closer look." He said, No, I'm not touching that." Hold on, I was just off camera because I was having a snack. He goes, No, I'm not touching that. I said, "Why not?" He said, "I don't want to break anything on it." I said, "That ain't gonna break." So what do you mean? I said, "Like it ain't gonna break."
My building skills, attest to that. So go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. I said, "Well, at least the structure." I said, "This is a pretty solid build, Steve." I said, "Honestly, I wouldn't horse around if it wasn't." I said, "This is a piece that, So when I threw it up in the air, he goes, "Oh shit!" Pardon my language. And I said, "It's okay." And he's like, "Well, can you do that again?" And I was like, "Yeah." Woo. And he goes, "Well, do it again. I want you to take a picture of it."
Oh wait, you did it 3 times?
Well,
3
I did it
times?
enough times for him to get the picture of it in midair. So he like click, click, click when I did like. And then hold on. I know we're gonna get there, but John decides to throw it like a football. John was like, "Hey, Chris."
Yeah, no, we had the show that night, and I forget how it came about. They were talking about this actually, the Jason throwing it. So I was like, John, grab me that model over there. He's like, should I walk it up to you? No, just throw it to me. So he just lofts it 5 feet across the room. And when I caught it,
like this.
yeah, no, I caught it like this without some cushion, and it gave it a little. I heard a little crick.
I
You
heard a
know,
crack. I heard a crack.
did you hear a crack?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was just a glue coming apart, like in one little section in the middle. It was no big deal. I glued it up when I got home. But yeah, thanks a lot, Jason.
There was 2 other cracks that happened in that room as well, wasn't there?
Oh yeah. So it was in the hotel room. It was in the hotel room, right? And it was sitting on the TV stand, right? And the maid was cleaning, was dusting. What does she do? She grabs it by the
She
top
grabs it by the
middle.
bridge and she's like this.
Yeah, she's like holding it like this and moving it around while she can dust. I'm like, and she set it down. When I picked it up,
I had to go and like scoop it from her and then put it in the closet.
Yeah, we put it up on the upper shelf closet, and the bridge, the truck part across the bridge in the middle up top came off of the tanks. Oh, my house is going crazy. But yeah, that was
Jason was asleep at the other crack, wasn't he?
no, Jason.
No, think of the word crack. Ask crack.
I know what he means.
I'm
not going to discuss it publicly. Between him and Paulie, I got quite the file this weekend.
Well, yeah,
I think it may have even caught an STI or an STD.
Probably. Oh yeah.
Next picture, Chris.
Cracks too, by the way. But yeah, interesting picture. This is a good one. It's on the thumbnail. I had to put it on the thumbnail. So.
Well, the great thing is this wasn't intentional because Steve took a couple pics. I didn't realize that I was doing like with my face. So Steve was like, "Oh my God, your face is perfect," and I didn't know what he meant. I didn't even realize that I subconsciously did like a whoa, like.
You hear that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your face is perfect.
So yeah, this. John Con was. Oh, it became John Con because originally it was just Studio Con, right? Just joking around as a name, Studio Con. There's JT.
John Stewart, yeah.
Yeah, John Stewart. And as John says, it's mostly going to be all my models, right? And I'm like, yeah, we'll just call it John Con for, what the hell. So, but yeah, this is the crew for the whole weekend. Parminder, he stuck with us the whole entire weekend. It was great getting to know him as well. He's a freaking amazing guy.
Yeah, and I think he's on the cusp of turning to Star Wars modeling. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we've
one or two more just
nudges.
Little nudges, yeah.
We'll have to kill Padme or something, get him on the dark side.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was I mean, we literally spent all weekend long together, like almost a whole week. So like I said, probably the best time of my life. I never had so much fun. I never it was also impactful for me as well, which I'll discuss later on. There were a lot of people that I met that were just so nice and so, complimentary of, because like when we sit down, I'm in my basement, right? I'm just sitting here looking at my stuff. And, when people come up to me that I don't know, and they're like, we love your show, blah, blah, blah. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre to me. And it makes me kind of uncomfortable a little bit. But it kind of just like makes you feel like you're actually doing something decent. I don't know. It's just, we'll get into that more.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
It is. And, two specific people impacted me pretty heavily. And let's talk about the one. Felix. Felix is, I just talked to Felix maybe a couple times. And, we don't really, I don't know him. I like just talk to him occasionally. Usually it's just me asking him, "Hey, can you make this for me?" Or "Hey, can you make that for me?" But just getting to know him and his situation and who he is and how intelligent and creative he is blew me away. Like, and to set this up, okay, like you had said, John. He was going to come meet us up at John Con and bring this beauty. if anybody doesn't know, this is his scratch built Slave One. That is, I mean, doesn't look like, with all the weird colors and sanding and stuff, and it's not complete. It looks a little weird, but it's gorgeous. Like it's his work is stunning,
Sublime.
and it's sublime. It's the word.
Yeah.
And he was going to come to John Con, but he was really tired and kind of feeling under the weather. He was doing the droid setup where he builds BB-8s, with the head sliding on top, and R2D2 droids. And he was a little tired. So he's like, I have my Slave One in the carport underneath the convention center. We'll go take a look at it there. I don't know about you guys, but this was so off the wall and random and cool and just rock star to me. That is just like, we're sitting in a parking lot next to his van. Thank God there was an empty spot right next to his van because we were all sitting in that spot. But we're sitting on cardboard. Go ahead, John.
It was all meant to be, wasn't it?
It was.
He pulled out chairs for us. He got us all sat round. It was so nice, and the look on his face and the smile he had, and we were all just glued to this gorgeous model that's based off Guy Cohen's kit, base kit he did a run of, and I couldn't take it. I took so many photographs of it to try and help with reference, but like we've all said, seeing it in person made all the difference.
Yeah, I have a picture of him in here with his smile. I'm gonna go through them all slower, but this is Felix. Just look at him. He's beaming. Like this was a great time, and and all of us were here to see his amazing work. How well do you know Felix, Marvin?
Fairly well. We've been talking for a few years. Met him a few times. We actually been to. We've had our like a combined display at a few cons, and it's like I'm just sitting here listening, but like everything you're saying is completely correct. Felix is good people.
He is.
He's great at fabrication as well. Also like machining stuff. I think he does that, if I remember correctly, he does that for a living within a university or hospital environment. And he's also pretty meticulous when it comes to his build, and that's something that I always appreciate a lot. Yeah.
It looks like your sort of work as well, Marvin. It's very, very meticulous, and he's
and it's also slow. He's also slow, just like me. So I mean, we build very similarly, Felix and I. Yeah.
But he comes across as someone that thinks of other people first before him.
Yeah. He will spend time machining something for somebody else, and then not have time to work on his own model. Yeah, that's Felix. Yeah.
I honestly feel like I met so many amazing people. I know everybody knows everybody in their lives, and you have people that are like, people in your lives that aren't that great. But I can honestly tell you, everybody that I met this weekend, especially the crew, the Felix and all the guys at John Con, and they're just passionate about the same things and just good, like you said it yourself, Marvin. Good people. That's what it comes down to. Good people, good conversation. Everybody's willing to help each other out. Like I brought a bunch of kit parts, NTEX kit parts for him to cast. I brought him over to give to him. I forgot. I ended up not giving it to him. John, you have him, and you're gonna send it to him. But this was. Oh, and I don't think you can see it in any of these pictures, right? Let's see if I can find it. Maybe it's in the one that Marvin's sitting in the. Where is it? There. Look at. He's got R2D2 buttons on the inside of his van here.
I think he's modeling it to the blockade runner inside.
To the what?
To the blockade runner interior.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I'm not really sure, but I think so.
Yeah, Jason was saying to him, "Man, if you had this van in America, you would get pulled over in a second. The white nondescript van, the
I wasn't
foil."
making jokes.
No,
Chris,
it's not a joke.
True.
Yeah. I asked him where the drawer with all the candy was, but yeah.
But then even that, like they put like New York, they have before you get in the tunnels, they have guards there with machine guns, and they're pulling over white vans like this on a regular basis looking for terrorists. Like
they don't mess around with these cars.
No.
Cars there.
No, these are like rental cars in our rental vans in our country, and that's what happens. But especially with the foil curtains on the side, that was a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a silo that looks like a bomb.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know if did I mention on the stream or on beforehand. I actually my concern bringing that over was I brought it in a separate suitcase. I had it packed real nice, and the shape of it is like a bomb. There's 2 cylinders and some inner workings, right? And I thought about it. I was like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? I gotta go through customs with this thing. And America went right. I went through customs, no problem, heading over to England. When I left England to come to America, they stopped it. They're like, what is this? I saw their face they were looking at the x-ray, and I saw their face like contort, like, what's this? And I thought, oh shit, here we go. So I had to take it out and show it to him. Like, it's hollow, it's empty. It's just, it's a model. Okay. So, yeah. But this was this. Go ahead, John.
I do that at an airport once, coming into Eindhoven, Marvin, and it was all my when I did armor modeling. But there's tons of so I had it in a diorama. There was all trees and foliage and green plants, So coming to the country with all that stuff, they were a bit questioning me about what on earth I had around my tanks, But that was a bit more easy to explain than something that looked like a bomb.
Yeah, this looked exactly like a bomb. And I actually have a model of an old tank shell. Like it's like this big. My son wanted it for Christmas. I never got around to building it, but they wouldn't ship it from England to America. I had to find an American seller. I had a guy who tried to ship it twice, and it got sent back to him because it was just the housings, but it still looked like an artillery shell.
Tank.
What's that?
What was it?
It was a huge tank casing, like one of those. What do you call them? Unit that you shoot out of tanks. What is it specifically called? The projectile, the missile.
Oh, the shell.
The shell. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
It's exactly shaped like an old. I forget what tank it is. He wanted it a long time. He's huge into World War II history. In fact, he's going to Germany in May just to go visit. Yeah. But it was nice seeing this too, because I have these parts. I have the shells. I have the armature. I haven't started working on it yet, but there were parts where okay, well, there's threads here for screws, and I'm like, I wonder what these are for. Are there screws missing? And it turns out, he showed me it's parts where it's where you see the screws that go through the hull to hold the styrene together.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest models to make. I imagine that there's so many curved domes, and I'm literally worried and nervous about starting mine.
We'll get it, John. As soon as I'm done with the sandcrawler, we'll jump on this sucker and get it rolling.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't. It to somebody who doesn't do this, they're looking at this like, well, it's all gray and scratched up and it's got tape all over and blah, 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 and red lines. But this is beautiful. This is such amazing work.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to paint it if it looked like
that. Yeah. But those are all the pictures I got.
That's always a danger when you do these things and do these get-togethers, right? Because now you see that slave one and you have that set in your house somewhere. I purposely put it in my storage and all the way to the back because I just don't want to glance at it and then start that up as well, because who needs a 13th project to work on, Let's finish the first 12 first.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially when you see it in this stage where Felix is, where he's at the fun stage, laying out those kit parts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
pretty.
That's
Go
why
ahead,
the mini Star Destroyer was in, and all the little projects like welding droids and all that sort of thing you can do. They don't take that long, and they're made up of kit parts, and you can get the project done and dusted, and you feel better. I'm not good at letting projects linger and sit, and it's my temperament because I'm so now, and I have to rush everything, and I can't relax, and that's my bugbear. But getting these models finished is a big part of how I model.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty disciplined. Where before, when I first started, it was, well, I didn't have a lot of projects going, but I'm pretty much like, I want to get this done, and then I can move to this one, because there's not enough space in this noggin to fill up, Sandcrawler and Slave One at the same time. It'll be pouring out my ears, and I'll be walking around like a zombie, and my wife will yell at me. But I can dabble a couple little tiny little commissions or projects on the side, but to jump into something as complex as the Sandcrawler and the Slave One, that I need one at a time. I can't.
The only reason I could manage the Sandcrawler was simply because of Marvin and what Marvin had done previous. He'd created that skeleton, that base to work off, and he was there on tap 24/7. As annoying as that was, Marvin, and I apologise for those messages he was answering for them. But there were flat lines, there were flat plates that I could stick things on, and at that point of my skill set, I was able to kind of muddle my way through it. But with the curves and all that of Slave One is just so difficult. Even now, so daunting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Marvin, at least you didn't have him call you at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I probably have rung him up.
Yeah. Probably just didn't answer.
It was nice. It was also nice, John. I got to meet your wife and your kids, and on the last day they came out. That was nice to I hear a lot about them. And it was nice that I got to meet them. I also met Parminder's 2 daughters as well. They were sweet, very sweet girls, very respectful, very sweet. Yeah. So
I just have memories of such nice memories of sitting in that hotel breakfast room with a nice cup of coffee and lovely breakfast laid on, and then you'll see Marvin just when morning, how are you doing, chaps? And he'll just sit down, and then we'll all just be together. These faces that I've only seen like we are now, on, and then we're just literally face to face with each other, just talking about what we're going to do that day, what we're going to see, how much fun, who we're going to meet. It's just, they were good memories. It was a lovely time, lovely.
Yeah.
Something that sticks out in your mind, Marvin, or something happened there that we don't know about, or anything you want to discuss about?
No, I think you were there for everything that is worth mentioning. Now I'm just thinking ahead mostly. To be honest, I mean, like the day after I returned, somebody changed that Celebrations 23 group into Japan 24 or 25, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really thinking, going back to your question over like how did I find the event, and I want to do this again. But with this, I mean, having a couple of guys, like-minded interests, good people together, talk models, maybe bring models and that stuff. I just can't really work it out in my head how and when the next time for that would be.
Well, I guess you had mentioned, you and Jason were talking about that, right? So I'm game. Like I next year, I'm game to come over to England or wherever and hang with a group of, I'm sure there's a bunch of guys who would be willing to do that in your area. I'm not so, I mean, Japan, I don't know. The Japan thing doesn't really interest me that much. I mean, the country, going to see the country is cool, but to go to another convention, another Star Wars celebration convention in Japan, I don't know. It's just something that doesn't.
Yeah. So, Marvin, the Birmingham Comic Con was as good, if not better, than Celebration, wasn't it? It was a big, clean convention center. It had places to go afterwards. It was busy. We had our own table full of models. It was more relaxed. Yeah. And you don't have to have a huge celebration to get everyone together.
It would be nice if we can find a con to do something like that again. Maybe that is a little bit more Star Wars focused. Although I think Birmingham for a Comic Con was okay when it comes to like Star Wars related stuff. And then, like you say, just get some guys together to set up a display or bring our models and put it together. Yeah. I think if the goal or the value for us is mostly in the people and getting together and talking models, then we can do that a lot cheaper, I think, than Celebrations Japan.
Yeah, because the Celebration, like we had said before, all of us, I was disappointed. I've been to 4 of them now, and the first 2 were very Star Wars centric, and I mean there was a whole heavy amount of, at the time, prequels, episode 2 and episode 3. It was centered around that a lot, but you still had a lot of OT stuff. This was just Disney, and very, even all the panels. It was just oh, let's see Book of Boba Fett. Let's talk. The con holds no interest to me.
Yeah. But even then, if it's a Book of Boba Fett, it's not that I'm interested in. But then bring some of those fancy Vespas or whatever. Do something. Bring something that's behind the scene. But it wouldn't been the thing that I'm interested in. But at least it's that behind the scenes look versus just talking about the show.
Actors experiences. Yeah. But Marvin, in defense of, let's say, the con people, 95% of the general public, that's what interests them. They're not interested in the nuts and bolts of things.
Yep.
They
want to buy the next Funko Pop and
focus ship, didn't they? They had the big N1 Starfighter. They had loads of stuff from Book of Boba Fett. In England, we had nothing. We had not one prop from any of the films on display.
Literally, yeah, you're right. There was nothing there. But did anybody read up upon the heist that took place where the guy was hiding amongst the Wookiees?
Yeah.
I guess on Saturday they actually locked down the Excel Center. They locked people in. Well, a couple of guys ripped off a couple.
What do you think?
What'd you say?
Do you think that was the lightsabers at prop store they tried to steal?
No, it was I guess some vintage toys and then
Funko Pops.
Well, they said it was upwards of like $10K worth of merchandise. 2 guys got away, 1 got caught, but they locked down the Excel Center. And I just read about it yesterday. I was like, this, come on, we're here to have a good time. And they also mentioned, which I don't want to get into like the negative of it, but how many people that were unbadged or didn't have tickets that were just kind of, because they didn't really check tickets at all.
No, they didn't check tickets at all.
Chris, day 1, I forgot my tickets at the hotel and didn't even realize until I got there. And I was like, oh, what do I do? And
I had it in my pocket. I walked right in. They didn't even ask.
Could have saved £500.
Yeah. I seriously, well, the last day when we entered, they were like, oh, okay. They said there was 2 guys that are tickets. They were just showing it. Like, they weren't scanning it or nothing. So it's just a really bad organization.
I was a bit annoyed that we missed the Fon Davis.
Well, he wasn't advertised on there. I don't even remember. Jason, do you remember what panel it was for?
Which one?
The Fon Davis one.
The Fon Davis was, I actually have it right in our chat. Because I was kind of, it's like, the advertising of the panels was so, the whole organization of it was a little sort of confusing and overwhelming. It was hard to really like nail down or lock down a schedule. So for that one, we didn't realize it until you guys were sitting down munching on nachos that I said, I think you just mentioned that, John, that we missed it. So it was, let's see, the making of the Star Wars Magic, Stories from Behind the Scenes panel, which is basically like, probably the builds, working on the special edition and whatnot. And then they had this nice, cool little picture posted of the Macquarie.
Right, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Make it bigger. Hold on, put it back up, Jason.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so that would have been Mandalorian, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it was in Mando. Yeah. Nice cave.
I mean, even just a little snippet of behind the scenes stuff. Like we went to the Andor one, didn't we? It was all just CG. They mentioned about I think about 10 seconds of actual modelling parts that they had stored in the modelling sort of database library that they used. But I could have done with some more panels. It'd been nice if like Lorne Peterson and like a couple of the original ILMers might have been there, but I suppose they're getting old now, aren't they?
They're trying to phase out the OT. They just are. It's all Disney stuff now. There was like 2 actors from the OT, 3 actors from the OT there, and the rest were like Boca Boba, Vespa drivers and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
we actually had to go to a separate concert. Yeah, we went to, what was that, the O2 Center, right?
At the Cantina.
The Cantina, and they had a band there playing Ash, and they were playing they were playing their music, but it was heavily Star Wars themed, and they had a bunch of old Jedi, the Imperial, like Veers was there, Piet, Nita was there, and Paul Blake was there, Garrido, and they had more OT actors there signing autographs than in the show.
Yep. I said I thought that was pretty weird how that planned out, didn't I? I was like, upstairs, you've got 80-year-old dudes signing autographs, and downstairs people moshing and like spinning over each other.
Yeah. It worked out good. Well, I almost like I told you guys, but I have been wanting to get General Veers' signature for years. And he had to cancel a couple appearances in the States because of COVID and a lot of other reasons. Plus, he's older, and flying over to the States is different. But I almost didn't get that because by the time we got there, I had to go to like 5 places to figure out how to get my VIP badge. Nobody knew. Go up to the 4th floor. And I go up there. No, go down to the 1st floor. No, go to the 2nd floor. No, go to. I was getting so angry, and then I finally got to him. I stood in line. Right, there was 3 people in front of me, and as soon as I got in line, 5 minutes later, somebody tried to walk up behind me, and they're like, "Oh no, we're capped. That's it, right here. This is the last guy here." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, God! If I didn't get that, if I paid the extra money for the VIP, right, and the concert, and if I hadn't got his signature, man, I would have been sour. Just would have been really not happy." So, but that worked out.
Chris, you put a lot of effort into that, and the fact that you were literally like the last in line, that would have been. I can appreciate how frustrating that would have been for you, because even during the con, I mean, you guys were with us. We took a lot of trips around the con to try to find something Bears related. It got to one point we were in the art section. Every person I walked up to, Bears.
Well, my original plan was to bring that to have him sign the acrylic case. And I was too busy worrying about my bomb to bring over that I completely forgot it. And I got over there. I was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me." Like, I don't want to just get a Funko Pop sign or some modern figure that's worthless. Like, okay, so here's why I say that. Hold on.
This was just a lead for him to show his awesome collection, right? Just,
I was gonna say that. Any chance he gets to whip it out, yeah.
Here I am with my 3 cheapest of the cheap carded figures.
So the reason I don't want to get a modern figure signed is because when I went to Celebration 3, I met Carrie Fisher, and I was only collecting like 3 3/4 Hasbro figures. I got this signed by her, and like to this day, I wish to God I'd have gotten something something a little more substantial than Slave Leia.
It's a memory, isn't it?
It is. And that's the main part of the signatures for me. Like, these are just tokens. These are just memorabilia from the signature. But, you want something a little more substantial than this thing.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm glad that you did get that sign. Your happiness level went up slightly because you helped me put Jason on top of a post box.
Oh, yeah. That picture got a lot of love, actually.
It did. I even had people messaging me separately. I had a couple. How'd you get in there? I'm like, I jumped.
Yeah. Well, no. we had a rough time pushing your
No,
ass up
John
to
gave
there.
me 10 fingers. He got me right up there.
Yeah, 10 fingers up the bum. That's, but I had to give him a little bit of a shove too. John was like struggling to get you up there. I'm like, I put my hands up there, just to get you up and over.
I jumped
But you
off like a champ, though.
walked out. You were saying, "This is so nice. I want to go here." Like the O2. You liked it, didn't you, Chris? You were like,
Oh yeah, it was nice. It was cool. Dude, I was jamming out. I was rocking and head bobbing and moshing, and I look over, I see John going.
I remember I spoke to your wife. I think I was so drunk, but I remember talking to her and just saying, Chris stood so still. If you took a photograph, the whole room was blurred. Apart from Chris would have been the only one in focus.
I was moving.
You were having a good time. I'm enjoying it.
I was having a good time. Yeah. Yeah.
God.
But yeah, that was a fun night. All of them. I mean, all of them were fun. I mean,
And Marvin, you got a blue snaggletooth.
I
Yes.
did.
Got the blue snag. Yeah.
My final figure. I'm complete now.
He snagged the blue snag.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was your final figure to get.
My final figure. Yeah, I got 2 or 3 of like the more common ones that I want to upgrade because they aren't perfect, but the others are. But I'm basically complete.
I was hoping you didn't buy that because I was trying to tell you I have a pretty mint one at home. His boots aren't scraped up or anything. I was going to try to take advantage of trading for something good.
No,
Let me get some of that juicy Marvin model making work,
I'm sure there'll be something else to trade at some point.
Yeah.
and you showed us your display with it's so cool when you see all the vintage figures just displayed right next to each other.
Yeah, that
lined
does
up
look
so
good. That
beautifully.
looks really
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Do you have Yak Face and Anakin and
Yeah. Everything. Yeah.
yeah, awesome. All
And good thing
92.
they're all loose, so I can actually handle them. I don't put them in an acrylic case behind a glass door and probably some security on it as well.
Chris, you have to access it with like biometrics. Chris,
Yeah.
I do have I don't know if you know this, Marvin, but my figures are actually locked behind. There's wood. You cannot get my figures out of their shelves. There's a long story to this.
If
Should I
the
tell
fire
it?
breaks out, then they're gone.
Well, you can rip it off. I mean, if I could rip it off, but if somebody wants to come down here and wants to just like grab it and stick it in their bag or something,
Yeah.
you seriously can't, because you need a special security screw to get the wood out of place to get them out.
Yeah.
Which sucks. If I add one, I gotta like take it off and slide them all down. But there's a long story behind that. I might tell you. I'll tell you that some other time. I'll bore everybody. But yeah, you can't get them out.
And Marvin brought the little Star Destroyer as well, their little tower, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about that.
It was the only thing I could fit in my bag.
Pulled it out of your inside pocket like a watch cell or something.
Yeah. I don't know. Like the next time we get together, I don't even know what I would possibly. I mean, the silo was the only thing I thought to myself, that's easily transportable. But I don't even know what I would bring if we did another one. Well, I'm listen, guys. I'm gung ho for getting together next year. Let's definitely plan it out and figure something out. Whether it's a con or whether it's just another conference room in the hotel, I don't really care. Let's figure out
And the
who
more the merrier as well. Anyone else that wants to join in.
Yeah.
Definitely, because that it's again meeting new people, talking about things that you're interested in that you might not know. Like a conversation with you, Marvin, in person saves about 50 texts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Especially if you have the model in front of you, just point and ask. Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, Marvin helped me a lot also with the Sandcrawler. Just
I we talked about it as well.
yeah, we sat there and we were looking at it and talking about it, and he's like, this, and I'm like, I never even thought of that. So
You have to take advantage right now when it comes to the Sandcrawler, because in that conversation we had, I started noticing that it's been too long ago for me when I did those panels, so I actually don't remember everything anymore.
Oh, really?
Get your info now, because like 6 months from now, it'll all be gone.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's pretty much probably just like the corners. That's where I'm hazy about. The rest of it I could pretty much figure out, but the corners, what's on the corners, like I can't. Like up at the top, the hero side at the top, I couldn't tell that was an angle. Like I had no idea what it was. So John helped me there, and you helped me with the I-beams in the back. So, like it's not just, people see these models that you build and they're like, oh, you did a great job. You did a great job. No, I had a lot of help. Like there's a lot of people that have helped me with each and every single model that I have made. There's not one of them that I just did on my own.
That's almost true for anybody. I mean, we talked about this last show that we did when I was on. There's few people that can claim a full model done all by themselves.
Not me.
There's always information that's gotten somewhere because somebody has already looked at it. It's dimensions. It's building technique. It's painting technique. There will always be something that you need somebody else for, because these are just such immense projects to do. So,
right.
Yeah.
And then like you had said yourself, and even Felix, like he's an amazing builder, but he wants to get John to help him learn how to paint a little better. So John's a great painter. He needs help with building sometimes. It's just a group effort, and if you have the right people and the right guys that are it's all about the people.
Well, Chris, sometimes it's like what we say, because as you know, it's easy to obsess over a piece. I mean, as you can see what's been happening with the Star Destroyer and the chat just kind of going and going and going, once you get it locked in, but sometimes you start to laser focus in so much that you almost need a fresh set of eyes to kind of break that monotony that you get locked into. Like John, for example, I saw like you would just like, by hook or by crook, you were going to find those three parts. And you, like you said this morning, I went through literally every naval kit that you could possibly go through. And sometimes like if I'm working on something, I'll say, hey, Chris, what are your thoughts? And he'll turn me in a different direction. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? And vice versa. Yesterday he's like, oh, he called me up. He's like, I'm pretty sure it was this piece. And I'm like, oh no, it's this. And he was like, yeah, you're right. It's this. Because you get so focused that it almost works against you. But yeah, I say all the time, it takes a village. Without all the multiple people and different talents and different strengths that all come together, I think it would be hard for any one person to really, finish something from start to finish complete.
Yeah, completely on their own. People have done it, but it's the majority of the time it's not. It goes, is it? And that for me, searching for that model part for the last 2 days has been pulling my hair out. And then
I was like, it's driving me bananas.
Yeah, but again, that's due to like the Studio Scale Modelers website that has all the kit scans. It's just so valuable for information.
Look who we have.
Some of the
Hey guys,
the fifth Beatle.
Fifth Beatle, Yoko.
Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me okay?
That's not a compliment, Jason. No.
I didn't mean it in a negative way.
What's up, Parminder?
I'm good, man. How's everybody?
Yeah, we're
amazing. Good. Yeah,
you get nice, clear, concise internet. That's how you're rolling, huh? He sounds better than all of us.
Hopefully it lasts.
Yeah, we were just wondering when you will be starting your first build.
The bug's definitely biting, so hopefully soon. I want to start looking at getting some kits off eBay, and we'll get the ball rolling for sure.
Marvin, we need to add him to our starter store chat. He can start there.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a good start.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in right now.
A few kits.
I just need the styrofoam kind of shape. If I can get the base shape, and then if it just means getting.
That's why you have to be really nice to Marvin.
Okay.
Call him at 4 o'clock in the morning and ask him a bunch of questions. I'm adding you right now, Parminder.
Okay. Cheers.
Bingo. Cheers.
Cool.
But Parminder, listen, it was amazing having you with us that whole weekend. It was great to get to know you so well, and you hung out like a champ, man. You were with us from breakfast till 4 o'clock in the morning every day.
I loved it.
Yeah, and you had your family there too. I was talking to my wife. I'm like,
how did you creep back into your hotel room without waking all the kids?
Well, on that last night where you were popping champagne and we were eating pizzas, and I think it was at 3 a.m. I did actually wake them up. So,
oh no.
But yeah, otherwise they were kind of fast asleep every time I'd enter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were it's nice meeting your daughters too. They were sweet and very kind and it's
Oh,
it's
thanks,
just
Chris.
cool to you get to know these people, but you don't get to know the tertiary people in your lives as well. Like I hear about John's family, I hear about Jason's family, and I've met every one of your families now. Actually, it's kind of a nice thing. I've met Jason's wife and daughter as well, and you just get to know people way more.
Yeah.
You get to see also how they act differently when they're around their wives too.
I'm sure. And,
What's
and
that, John?
they know all of you actually, because we were listening to the stream in the car. My wife was like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "I need to listen to these guys."
Yeah.
But yeah, so they know all of
Yeah,
you now.
we didn't reveal anything, bad that your wife would get
No,
mad
I
about.
was just saying, please don't swear. Please don't swear.
Oh yeah, we did good this time. We did good.
No, you did good, man. Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
cursing or anything. It's great.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I'm usually the culprit of the cursing, but
I think you
Jason-
and Cece are the biggest culprits when it comes to the cursing.
I think I'm way worse than Cece. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny about that is I used to never curse ever. In fact, I would like my sons, I'd never curse around them whatsoever. And my buddy used to curse all the time, and he would curse around his kids. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why you curse around your kids? Now they're 18, 19 years old. I'm like, they get you so mad that you can't help yourself but curse and call them freaking a-holes and this and that, but I'm going to try to clean up my language, especially on the shows, so I'll do better.
Yeah, so I've got all that to come by.
What'd you say, John?
I've got all that to come with my kids growing up.
Yeah.
You think it's going to get easier when they get older.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. Yeah. Because they make you more mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Parminder, jump in and start help working on this starter shore with us. Yeah, I would go back and read all the messages because there's a lot. I woke up to 33 messages this morning.
Wow.
I was like, what's going on?
No, certainly will. It's definitely, as you say, it's probably one of the easier things to get started on, even though it's something that's just been discovered. But it's exciting, yeah.
Yeah. What was your highlight of the weekend, Parminder?
You guys, honestly, it was you guys. I think I was listening to Marvin and just how celebration wasn't really that great in itself. I think it was just being with everybody, and making friends and getting to know everybody, outside of the realms of the web. We've spoken to each other, and I mean, John, you and I have met a couple of times, but certainly Jason, Chris, and Marvin for the first time at least was the first time we met. So,
no, actually, you reminded me that there was the second time that we met. That I actually saw you back in Birmingham 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've got pictures actually of the table, and you are in it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. But no, I think celebration itself, it was a bit disappointing. If you were just to take celebration and the content that we had. As an OT fan, I think it definitely lacked in that area.
It was completely negligent in that. Completely negligent.
Yeah.
You're being Karin Parminder. Go ahead.
So that was a shame. Compared to 2016, which is the last one I went to, where I felt more at home. But yeah, I guess we're slowly being phased out for the Disney generation. But again, it was the company. It was hanging out with you guys. It was just such a good time.
It was.
Yeah.
And we will do it again.
Yeah,
we're
should.
talking Parminder next year. I think England's kind of a good central point for a lot of people. Am I right? I mean,
center of the universe.
Especially when it comes to like bringing stuff. If we do something like this next year, then I'll decide to drive up, and then I can actually bring stuff. And same might go for somebody like Felix or other people like in Denmark or just elsewhere in Europe that would want to join.
Awesome.
You can have a table with more than just John's stuff on there.
John Con too.
It won't be called John Con though.
Yeah,
well, we can still call it John Con. That's okay.
We'll put a little this elevated display right in the middle of the table with Parminder's first model.
Yes.
Okay.
So your place is already reserved.
You're gonna find Parminder when you start this. You start on this journey. All of that stuff behind you will be gone.
I'll keep John's stuff.
No, John stuff, but I mean, like, yeah. But all that, hot toys,
All the other
and
crap.
all the other stuff. I wasn't
All
gonna
that
say crap,
license
but
shit.
well, here
No,
I'm
my kids
saying
aren't
that,
listening,
but
so I can say that.
I'm saying that, but I still have all that stuff back
I
there.
like
So.
my hot toys. It's they're still fun to. And I only
Oh,
collect I only collect the OT ones, so we've only got like 1 or 2 coming out. So
When you have a collection like yours and Perminder's, Chris, it's just you don't want to get rid of it because it's so beautifully laid out. There's no need to get rid of it, really.
Well, the reason I don't get
Ace.
rid of a lot of it is because I have an emotional attachment to a lot of these pieces. Like if you like in my video, I discussed a lot of. I remember how I got most of these things, and usually most of them mean something to me. It's not just I'm going to buy this. Oh, it's worth something. I might sell it later. So
Yeah.
it's part of me, and a lot of times I look at things and I think to myself, are my kids going to want this? So because when I'm gone, they're getting all of it, whether they want it or not. So,
But it's true, actually, that connection, because I mean, a lot of the stuff that I have, I mean, most of my helmets are RS, and we know RS really well, right? We know Rob and Simon and those guys, and all my models, predominantly all my models, apart from a couple of from John. And again, it's knowing that they're from friends that makes them so special. And just wouldn't want to part with them.
Yeah, you're right, Perminder. Like the RS thing, they don't seem like a big sort of company to me now. They seem like a couple of guys that you've met that are pouring their love into it.
Yeah.
And it goes in their work because everything is so good they produce.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That Bausch helmet that we handled and played around with at the con, that was pretty special, wasn't it?
That was pretty special. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Oh, we'll definitely be getting that for sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
But join it. I don't know. You guys good, or you want to cut this, or you want to keep going, or you think we hit everything?
Well, I think my hour's up.
Okay.
Back to work, John.
Yeah,
too bad you just ended up joining us now, Parminder. Yeah.
That's okay. No, it's just nice to jump on very quickly. I was out and about, so I was listening to the stream. So
we may actually, I mean, just to try to get more UK members on, we'd like to have Guy and possibly Lee and like Marvin and John and Parminder. And I'm flexible during the day. Jason's flexible during the day. We could probably do more of these during the day when it's feasible for you guys to get on, because people are tired of hearing Jason and I talk all the time. So
and
it's nice.
I was just speaking with Rory a minute ago, and he's looking forward to jumping on with us. So I said we'll accommodate him, but I think that'll be a fun chat too.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to do this, weekly or every other week, just to get some consistency and depending on, like all of our work schedules, sometimes during the week, during the mornings, I can't, but for the most part I can. So we'll try to get this a little more often.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Guys, I miss you already. I really do.
I
really do. I miss all 4 of you.
We can all just reach through the screen and give each other a big hug.
I really, this past weekend holds a real huge place in my heart, and it will never be forgotten.
Same.
So, and I'm looking forward to getting together with all of you again come in a year. So
look forward to it.
All right, guys. We're going to end the stream, and don't go anywhere. Just talk for a minute. I do have to leave them, but we'll just touch base a little bit. All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys.